NBC 25's Nicky Zizaza live in Flint with a look at how the voting turnout was today. Nicky?
Bill and Sadie here at Mott Community College. A low voter turnout doesn't appear to be a Genesee County problem. Through these doors, voters have been coming through non-stop, but the rainy weather from earlier did delay some voters from heading out to cast their vote. Genesee County Clerk John Gleason says polls remain steady now and adds it's not unusual for voters to hold off on casting their vote until the weather clears up. While the overall turnout looks highly optimistic, Gleason says it's the high number of absentee ballots that looks encouraging.
We had a huge influx of absentee ballots, an unusual, inordinate amount of absentee ballots that came in, and they're still coming in today.
If you have not voted yet, there is still time. This polling place, in fact, will remain open until 8 o'clock, so stay with NBC News for your election coverage. Live in Flint, Nicky Zizaza, NBC 25 News. Back to you.
Nicky, thanks. NBC 25 is your one and only source for everything you need to know about the 2014 midterm election. Be sure to join us right back here at 11 for a special edition of NBC 25 News. Now for a look at the big races.
I'm Stephanie Parkinson at the MGM Grand in downtown Detroit. This is where the Michigan Democratic Party is hosting their election night party tonight. One of the big races we'll be watching is the race for the U.S. Senate. This is a seat that was previously held by Carl Levin. That's now up for grabs. Democratic candidate Gary Peters vying for the spot, as well as Republican Terry Lynn Land. Land has previously served as Secretary of State in Michigan. Peters is already serving in the nation's capital, in the House. Prior to that, he was a state representative in Lansing. Now, both have been doing a lot of last-minute campaigning. Today, Gary Peters making several appearances in the Flint area, and over the last several days, Terry Lynn Land has been traveling on a bus tour with current Governor Rick Snyder.
I'm Walter Smith Randolph outside of the Renaissance Center in downtown Detroit. Inside, the Republicans are getting together, getting ready to watch the election results come in tonight. The big race everybody is watching is the governor's race. Democrat Mark Schauer is taking on Republican governor incumbent Rick Snyder. The polls in recent weeks have shown that the two are in a dead heat, although Schauer was gaining on Snyder previously. The Republicans are hoping that Snyder can squeeze out a victory tonight so he can head back to Lansing for a second term. But right now, it looks like it's going to be a toss-up.
I'm Kyle Mitchell at the Saginaw Police Department. The city's mayor says if a public safety millage renewal doesn't pass, it could mean laying off more than a dozen police officers and closing 1 or 2 fire stations. Another issue we're watching for tonight is the Flint Township public safety millage. The department there says it needs a millage to make up for declining revenue. Voters across the state will be deciding if wolf hunting will be allowed through 2 different ballot proposals, and the debate over the legalization of marijuana also on today's ballot in several mid-Michigan communities. Voters in Saginaw, Lapeer, and Mount Pleasant will decide on the issue. In Saginaw, Kyle Mitchell, NBC 25 News.